Hello everyone, and welcome back to a brand new video. And about 2 weeks ago, I made a video about what I think was going to happen at the end of Wano, how everything was going to wrap up, and looking back at it, and with some new chapters released, I think some things have changed. And one of the biggest ones I wanted to make a video about is what I think Robin's role is going to be. I think something huge is going to happen to her. And I discussed this in a video about what I think the post-Wano bounties are going to be. Go check that out if you haven't. But Robin is a character that I feel has been highly disrespected by the government, just because of how knowledgeable she is on basically everything about the world, the potential she has to read the poneglyphs and expose literally everything that the government has been keeping a secret for years and even centuries. And with how much of a threat she is, her bounty does her absolutely no justice. Well, in today's video, I will talk about how I think the government is going to finally acknowledge Robin as a threat, and her bounty after Wano could potentially be insane. But if you haven't yet, and this is your first time watching, or you're just a regular here, please hit the subscribe button and turn on those post notifications. It only takes a few seconds and makes a massive difference. Now, the most recent thing that kind of sparked all of this in my brain is I was looking back at the Black Maria and Robin fight, and a friend of mine pointed out that at the very end of it, in the very top left of a panel, one of the Marys from CP0 is actually watching. This is really interesting, but what is the other evidence and everything to say, you know, something is going to happen to Robin or someone is going to chase her? Well, one is that CP0's true motives, in my opinion at least, have yet to be fully revealed. When they first come here, they had different goals. I think it was like to get Sea Stone or something like that. Then more of their motives are revealed, and it's said that, you know, while they're here, they might as well just kill or confirm that who's who is dead. And that was way later on from when they were introduced. So for me, it's safe to assume that all of their motives or their mission for this arc isn't fully revealed yet. CP0 are literally the protectors of some of the most important people in the world. So for this many of them to be here at this time goes to show you that this is a very important job. So it's safe to assume that whatever they're actually here for is something of very high importance. And this is where I think Robin comes into play. And for me to fully explain why I do think Robin is going to be a factor in this, I have to take it back to the Reverie. We know for sure that there was one murder and one attempted murder. And in the beginning of the arc, we see Cobra say how he has been questioning this whole world government thing ever since he met a certain person, and that person is Robin. With this in mind, I am 1000% sure that Cobra is the one that got killed at the Reverie, and that scene mirrored Professor Clover and O'Hara. I wouldn't even be surprised if Robin's name was mentioned, but even if it wasn't, the world government are some of the smartest people, if not the smartest faction in the world. They know the Straw Hat crew was in Alabasta. They know that Crocodile and Robin, when they were antagonists, went there. They can put two and two together and come to the conclusion that Robin is involved in this somehow. She is the only person alive right now that is able to fully read the poneglyphs, and she is essentially the biggest threat to the world government right now. Yeah, you can be the strongest person in the world, but if you don't have someone that can read these poneglyphs, it's almost impossible that you're going to make it on the level of someone like a Roger or what Luffy is about to do. And I think Wano is the arc that they will finally wake up to what Robin can actually do. It's kind of an anomaly that one of the most dangerous people, something they even killed an entire nation because of, and she is just roaming around here with a small bounty compared to what threat she poses to the government. So I 1000% think that this Mary that was watching Black Maria and Robin fight is going to come back up, maybe even in the next conversation that CP0 has. And all of this can even tie back into chapter 818, page 9, where a conversation sparks between Nekomamushi and Robin, and Nekomamushi says, but when the time comes that they really want to know the truth, big players from all around the world will be after you. She smiles and says, I don't mind at all. I've got very powerful friends who will protect me. So right here, she is acknowledging that when people find out things about the Straw Hat crew, what they're capable of, and what they're so close to actually doing and achieving, people will come to look for them. And I think it is absolutely no coincidence that Oda set this conversation up with Robin, one of the most knowledgeable people in the world. And right now, she is not at the top of the world in terms of knowledge, but she has the potential to be the most knowledgeable person on Earth. And I also don't think it's any coincidence that CP0 is in Wano. The arc that after the Straw Hats are going to be leaving will be 3/4 of the way there to having all 4 poneglyphs. And I think this will tie in beautifully because CP0 will most likely hear someone talk about this poneglyph that almost no one knows, and they will take action. I think CP0 and his art will be fended off or maybe just retreat, and I think they will see to it that the Straw Hat's bounty, and especially Robin's bounty, will be increased tremendously. I have no doubt in my mind that this is not a coincidence. It all tying into the Reverie, where Cobra is most likely the person that died there, and when we first see him, he is talking about how ever since he met Robin, he has been questioning the world. To Zoe, where the conversation sparks about when the world finds out what's actually true, they will come looking for them, all the way up to Wano, where the Marys are literally watching Maria and Robin fight, where almost every other time we see the CP0 members, we get a new mission or agenda that they're talking about. In my opinion, Oda will tie this beautifully in when the Beast Pirates and Big Mom are defeated by having the person on the crew that can read these poneglyphs and can potentially leak this information to the entire world, the thing that they've been fearing the most for centuries. They will raise that bounty to extreme heights. And this is my little theory / thoughts on CP0 and how I think Robin will be greatly impacted by this arc. With all of these big names in the arc, Oda has made this such a grand scale war that even someone like a first commander on a Yonko crew is overshadowed, where just a mere 2 arcs ago, a first commander was basically the main antagonist. This just goes to show how much stuff has been thrown in the shadows, and I don't think Oda is doing this intentionally. He knows that while you're focusing on all these grand scale things, that something is cooking up in the shadows. And if you did like this video, please like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. It only takes a few seconds and makes a massive difference. And until next time, peace.